Welcome to Cash Grab, where myself, Tom and Steph look through different franchises that have been turned into video games and decide if they're cash grabs or not.
Very good. Well, very good. Very professional.
That was pretty good, wasn't it?
We don't need to introduce ourselves, do we?
No. That's because that's what I was waiting on.
It's Steph, Tom, and myself.
Myself.
Steph, Tom, and myself. How are you, myself?
They know me.
How are you, myself?
Bear in mind, he's been off for 3 episodes.
Yes.
But they know him.
Yeah.
So, welcome back.
Welcome back to Adam McAdam.
Myself. Yes. Thank you.
He's back.
It's been a long time coming, but I'm happy to be back.
Yeah. How was North Korea?
Do you know what friendly is?
So you know what?
I'm obligated to say friendly is how I'm allowed to describe it.
I've heard similar things from other tourists.
Didn't meet
tourists.
Kim.
No,
he was busy.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
But he did put me up in one of his rooms.
All
Swings
right,
and roundabouts.
Yeah, totally. You were pampered. You were pampered by Kim, which is ironically his salon. Pampered by Kim.
Chain store.
Yes,
You can find on any decent high street. I'm obligated to say.
There's only It's like sponsored by. Yeah. Sorry.
Right. So I guess it's a good time to introduce our first ever special guest.
Yay!
Woo!
Yay!
It's exciting times. So we've got Scott.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
That's all right. That's all right.
I don't know if you need to lean a little bit more into the mic there, Scott. I don't know if I heard
Sorry,
you.
just a bit of a camera shy. I mean microphone shy.
Just to point out, this episode has actually been put forward by Scott.
So the deal is if you feature on the episode, you pick the episode because we're lazy and didn't want to do it.
That is true.
So Scott had the honours of picking the game. So Scott, do you want to say what you've decided to go with?
Well, yeah, this one was a bit of a struggle for me because obviously I haven't had much of a past with gaming, going from like Sega straight to the PS2, so I fucking missed the whole era. But
You did,
yeah.
And that's probably the best era.
And
as well.
what an era you missed. Yeah.
It was the best.
So yeah.
Sorry to rub it in like your first time on the show. It's like
Fuck you,
you
Scott.
missed so much.
Why are you here?
I'm so lonely. No, I've picked 007 Goldeneye.
What a choice! What a choice!
What a game.
And this goes way back for me and you, particularly, Steph.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the first game we made love to.
Well, that's new to me, but
Yeah, well,
great.
Chloroform does make your head a bit fuzzy.
Yes.
I kid. But when we were kids, we played a hell of a lot of Goldeneye on the
We did.
N64. So this has been a good one for us to revisit.
Well, we've revisited it many, many times.
Yes, we have.
Mm.
But it's always a pleasure to do it once more, isn't it, Steph?
I don't know if we're talking about the game now or...
I know what I'm talking about.
I don't, because I get chloroformed every time.
Talking about his raging headache the next day.
Yeah. Whenever Tom says, do you want to play Goldeneye? It's a 50-50 chance if we play Goldeneye or everything goes fuzzy and I hit the floor.
Yeah, that's the last thing you remember, just hitting.
Then I wake up tucked up in bed.
Yeah, tucked up
Luckily-
very tightly. Are these
Luckily,
shackles?
me and Scott were in the room this time to kind of keep him at bay.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if you see him getting chloroform out,
I don't know,
try
Adam.
and
You
stop
did leave
him?
the room for a while.
Yeah.
There was some scary stuff.
Yeah, it's like, Steph looks a bit sleepy. It was
right
a
now,
you guys.
You're just going to hear a big thud and then Tom's going to game on.
Oh god. But in all seriousness, yes.
We played this game a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
So basically, the film. Who's seen Goldeneye?
So this is one of my favourite films. Like, I had it on VHS as a kid and I watched it on repeat just over and over again because well, I just really enjoyed the movie for reasons I'm not going to go into just yet. They may come out later on. But yeah, so I absolutely love it. But I'm kind of disgusted to realise or to find out that you guys don't even remember it or haven't even seen it in Steph's case.
Yeah,
I've never
I must admit that I'm a bit
poor,
shocked about.
Yeah, I have to say I feel a bit bad because I think I had it on VHS as well.
So you have no
So
excuse.
wait. So you had the video game that we played religiously as kids. You
Yeah.
also had the VHS.
Yeah.
You just never watched it.
Just never watched it.
That's a strong
But I
effort.
love the
Sorry,
game.
mighty.
I'm the only one that still has a working copy of the game.
I
That's
do.
very true.
Oh, do you?
I do.
Oh,
Yeah.
fucking hell. All right, shoot me down.
Sorry, Steph.
So Scott, you saw the movie, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I did.
Okay.
I liked it. I haven't seen it for a while. It was nice to
Likewise.
revisit it.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, loads of crazy stuff happening. Quite into it straight away, wasn't it? Quite full on at the beginning, and then slows out like all the old films generally did.
Yeah. I mean, Bond films are notorious for kind of having quite a slow pace.
Well, a crazy opening scene, and then then long ass credit
It's
beginning,
like-
and then
Yeah,
Slug.
it's like, did you ever see that thing about when they're trying to analyse an Australian accent? And the guy built an accent machine. I know I'm going a bit off
Are you
topic.
talking about Futurama?
No. There was a scientist who was like, studying dialect. I guess he wasn't a scientist. I guess he was a linguist. But he was studying dialect, and he had like a waveform machine, and this machine said "Good day, mate," and he just changed the waveform until it got the exact Australian accent, and it looked like an arc. So
Like a
it
James Bond film.
started quite high. So it's like "Good day, mate."
Oh, like a parabola kind of
Yeah,
thing.
and that's what James Bond films are. They're an Australian accent. They start on a high, they have this kind of sweeping low, and then they end on a high. It's an Australian accent.
Well, I think that's the first time that it's ever been called.
An
Australian accent.
but it's true. It has that dynamic to it. It starts on a high, ends on a high, but it has this kind of trough in the middle. A trough. Yeah.
A trough.
I called this film a trough, but it's not a trough. It's quite a good film.
It's a great movie, and I'll throw it out there right now. Pierce Brosnan for me is the best Bond.
Yeah, he is the best
He's-
Bond.
But we did say earlier on that it might be because
It's an era thing.
yeah,
isn't
we
it?
grew up with him
That's true.
as our
The
Bond.
thing is, I completely agreed with you, and then I realised I hadn't
You
seen
hadn't
this
seen
film.
it.
But I still agree with you.
Yeah, no, I take
Maybe it's just because he's on the front of the case. He's in front of the game, therefore he is my Bond.
yeah, potentially.
Yeah, no, I mean,
See, I think he might be one of my favourite Bonds, but
Mm.
I wouldn't say his films were my favourite Bond film though. So like,
well, that's the point. I mean, Goldeneye's awesome, but like, did he do Diamonds Are Forever? Or is that an older one?
No,
Because
no,
I've
that's-
been
that's
singing
Sean
it
Connery,
all
isn't
day.
it?
I've been
Yeah,
singing,
I've been singing it all
I've been
day.
singing Diamonds Are Forever all day. It's Goldeneye, but okay, so like he did Die Another Day,
Yep.
which
The world
was
is not
crap.
enough.
The World Is Not Enough,
which
yeah.
was good. Was that good?
Was it Tomorrow Never Dies?
Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah, I
Tomorrow
think,
Never
yeah.
Dies.
I think I
And
remember
Goldeneye.
enjoying all of these, but I was young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoyed them all. They
Well,
were-
I mean, yeah. I mean, it would be good to kind of rewatch some of the other ones as well, like through adult eyes, to kind of get a perspective actually
Yeah.
what it's like now. Because as a kid, let's be honest, you can find anything amusing. I mean, I liked Digimon.
yeah, but it's kind
You
of
would
the,
still
and-
play Digimon and watch it and collect cards and whatever you do in Digimon.
I might actually.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a very good point. That's a very good point. I feel sad now. Didn't collect enough Digimon cards. Yeah, but no, I mean, just to point out, like, quite similar to you, Scott. I watched this when I was younger as well, but don't really remember it in particular. So any memories I do have are kind of fabricated from the game, because obviously
Yeah.
that was more ingrained in my mind over the years of playing it.
That was obviously my one as well.
Yeah.
So, right, so the film, when did the film come out?
95.
95 November.
November '95.
November 95.
Yeah, so this
Wow.
is...
Oh.
How many years is that? 23?
It's 22 years ago.
22 years. I'm obsessed with time at the moment, aren't I? Everything's about how
See, like-
old everything is.
I'm fairly certain like I watched this when I was like 5 or 6 kind of thing, or 7, and then like when it came out I was like 1, so
Yeah, it's crazy to think that.
So I was just looking at Tom's notes, and his handwriting looks like it says, "The shit was a poor fit on Pierce Brosnan."
Oh,
but it's
no.
a suit.
Yeah, it is too. That's something I want to point out, because actually you pointed that out,
Yeah.
Adam. So, James Bond always has the classic opening scene with down the barrel of a gun, and James Bond gets off the first shot because he's obviously got a quicker draw than this guy who's like...
Then the camera. who doesn't have a gun.
camera. The camera is a gun. It's a giant gun.
And surely the giant gun can take him out.
Yeah,
Before
but
he
yeah,
shoots.
but the problem is that to fire a giant camera gun, you
Then
need
why does the-
you need a giant finger, and giant fingers are quite hard to come by. Still.
So why does the giant camera gun bleed?
yeah. Red dye,
Red dot, yeah.
Do.
Is it like an Alien when it has that?
no.
it has
The
milk
guy
blood?
left. The guy was making his lunch beforehand, and he left his his jam jar, on top of the camera. So James Bond doesn't actually kill him. He just shoots his jam jar, and he's like, "Shot your lunch," and the guy was like, "I can't eat now."
and dies
gonna
of
go
starvation
hungry.
very slowly
Yeah,
later on.
exactly.
That's a cruel way to kill someone.
But anyway, in that scene where James Bond kind of walks into view, Adam instantly said, "That's a very ill-fitting suit."
It was.
And
the trousers
it
were
is.
just ridiculous.
Well, I thought it was
he's
more the
supposed to be like
sleeves. His
man of
sleeves-
mysteries and casinos. He's supposed to be like the
International Lothario.
hot... Exactly.
Mm.
He could get a suit that fits.
Well, you'd imagine so, and you imagine being a secret agent for MI6. It is MI6, not MI5, right?
No, it's MI6, yeah.
For MI6, you'd imagine his pay's relatively good.
You know,
I
kind of
don't
like
know.
Savile Row
Civil
Taylor
service,
suits.
public sector.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a pay freeze for a while.
Although times were different back then. This is 95. You know, they probably had more of a budget.
He probably had to
In
pay
These
for his
days,
own
he'd be
bullets.
fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. These days, they wouldn't even give him a watch with a bloody laser on it.
No, back then actually they gave him plenty of watches with plenty of lasers and guns with lasers.
Yeah, but now Daniel Craig gets
True.
fuck all.
Yeah, Daniel Craig. They're
But
like.
did you hear like you can get your suits dry cleaned if you got like a label of work on it? So you know, as a spy has MI6 obviously written across it because that's what every spy should have.
Yeah.
And then he can get his tax back for doing his dry cleaning.
Yeah, and that's
Well,
the
the thing
thing.
is, there is that theory that James Bond's the worst spy ever because everyone knows his fucking name.
Yeah.
Well, that is true, but also if he is walking around with an MI6 thing, you'd think that MI6 would have the custom to also hand him a sew-on badge, which goes over MI6, saying, "Don't worry, I'm not a spy." So then that would
Don't
keep
worry,
us
it's
covered.
totally cool. I'm not a spy. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it just goes all the way down to like his
All the way
hip.
down to his head.
It's like- and if you are still reading this, thank you. Thank God for that. You know, shot that guy.
It's like the text at the end of an infomercial, which is like telling you, you know, you can't sue us.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
really quick. Yeah, exactly. Take no responsibility.
Please don't
for
shoot
death.
me.
Yeah.
So what's the general plot to this film then?
Adam, you run us by this because I think your
Good
memory's-
dodge, Tom.
So, yeah.
Was
So do you want this, the plot to the film or the plot to the first 30 minutes that we watched? Or we just go over the whole
Yeah,
thing?
go on. Do our 30 minutes. What,
Okay,
what did
so-
we see?
Start off with James Bond running across a dam. Right,
Mm.
absolutely amazing scenery in the
Oh,
background.
damn.
And what's he going to do? He jumps off the dam.
Full.
Right, idiot.
Gutted, because I'll talk about the game later. Go on, Karen.
Anyway, so the purpose of this is to get into the secret bunker from. Are they Russian?
Yes.
Soviet,
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's this Soviet military group, so that he can get in and basically kill some scientists.
Nice.
Which is his sole purpose, apparently. So he manages this. Also, the escape from this Soviet bunker is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. What are you laughing at?
I don't know. Go on. I'm trying to hold back a laugh, and I don't know why. Go on, keep talking. I
So
think I'm
basically-
thinking about scientists.
Bond. Oh, I forgot to say. So Bond meets his colleague
Yes.
Sean Bean, who's alive for
Sean
the
Bean,
first
yeah.
30 seconds.
Alec Trevelyan is
yeah.
the character, 006.
Yeah,
Yeah, record breaking.
does well.
30
Yeah.
seconds and then he's gone.
It's
Yeah.
nice to see him alive, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
for
nice
that
to see
he's
young
good.
Sean Bean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not-
He looks good, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He does look good.
Yeah. He's not aged well over the years, old Beanie.
Oh, well, he's been
I
through
don't know,
some.
he
He's
looks
been
like-
through some shit.
If you
to
look
be
at him,
fair.
yeah,
He's died a few times.
He's
Yeah.
had multiple lives. Yeah.
But if
Takes
you look
its
at him in
toll.
like Game of Thrones,
Yes.
he looks. You look at his face. He looks like he's got a tale to tell.
He
know
does.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of got that world-weary look
Weathered.
about him. Yeah. Weathered. Withered.
He looks northern.
Oh God. Well, that's our
Fucking hell, we've
our
lost
northern
half the
fan base
country.
gone. Yeah. It's,
I'm saying that northerners have a good story to tell.
They do.
through their looks.
looks.
Well, you said he looks northern.
Yeah.
He is
Yeah,
northern.
but he looks
though.
like he's got a good
It
story.
looks
to
like he's
tell.
got a good story to tell. Is what I'm saying.
Well, he's got. Well,
If someone
what,
said
him
that
or
about
Alec
me,
Trevelyan?
I would be ecstatic, because that doesn't happen. People look at me and think,
and think he's got
"Fucking
no
hell."
stories to tell.
God, he looks boring.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Anyway, so Sean Bean dies. Oh, yeah, let's just leave it at that. Sean Bean dies. James Bond
That's not a
manages
spoiler
to
alert.
manages to escape.
Yeah, we discussed this earlier. We'll talk about it. We thought it's probably more of a spoiler if Sean Bean stays alive.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you've ruined it now.
Obviously, he dies.
I no.
I feel like
I think
me
this-
skirting around the subject is now redundant.
I
Does he
think.
come back?
Oh my god! This is, and by the way, just to point this out to those listening, this is a very genuine reaction from Steph.
Yeah.
Like, he's
So, yeah,
genuinely quite
he's
concerned.
not seen
right?
the
To be
movie.
fair, I only know from the game that he comes back
Yeah.
because I killed him in the game.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so it wasn't.
Wasn't
yeah.
that much of a
No,
shock.
I wasn't.
No.
I was shocked. I just wanted to look like I was really shocked.
So yeah, Sean Bean dies. James Bond manages to escape in typical James Bond fashion, jumping off a cliff into a spiraling plane before
Typical.
pulling the plane out of the nosedive and
Yeah.
over the
Scott, you
mountains
made a good point
to
about
safety.
the drop.
Yeah, no, it's like the same length of the runway, you know, the drop it was, as in
Yeah.
like Fast and Furious 6, you know, it just kept on going and going and going.
Yeah.
And also, like, they've done this quite they've done it again, haven't they? In the latest Bond, that he jumps into a helicopter in like Mexico, and then he like throws people out of that, and then rides off that.
Yeah.
So that they've kind of once again copy and pasted something from the past and
Yeah.
throw it into the future again.
Well, that is what they
What we're
like to
good
do in Hollywood and everything nowadays, isn't it?
yeah, it's remakes and
What worked in
sequels.
the past.
Yeah, but
let's
if you've
do it
been on
again.
as
Yeah,
many missions
definitely.
as James Bond does, you're going to kill people in the same way occasionally.
Well,
To be fair, it was a
gonna
helicopter this time.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have your elements of success. Like, you're going to figure out what works and what's
Yeah.
not, isn't it? It's like, usually when I, try to introduce myself to a secret military Russian base, I usually get shot. So maybe I'll crawl for a vent this time.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Do you think James Bond knows his previous incarnations of James Bond, like Doctor Who, Doctor Man?
Oh, it's a bit like James Bond isn't actually a human. He's a spirit inhabiting bodies.
Yeah.
That's quite a
Do you
metaphysical
think he knows?
question.
Do you think he knows that? God knows how many years. What was it? 20 years ago? This film came out.
22.
22 years ago, and then Inspector, whenever that came out, take the difference off. That he jumped out of the plane and took these people out and blah blah blah. Do you think he knew when he was taking the people out of the helicopter that he'd done that before?
This is
Very interesting question.
It
Quite an
is,
existential
yeah.
crisis he's going to
Yeah.
have when he figures it out.
Yeah.
this is like the Hindu idea of reincarnation, and most people, if you believe in that, would kind of come back as depending on their actions in life.
Well-
So I'll come back as like a slug or something.
I mean, if we're going to go into that,
But
we'd
then
have to say
James
that
Bond always
we
gets
are all James
reincarnated
Bond.
as James Bond. Well, we're not.
according to the Hindu religion, we are all James Bond, and we're all different manifestations
I can quite safely say
James Bond.
that the four of us in this room, none of us are James Bond.
No,
Yeah, no, I like stacked on like a step today. I'm not James Bond.
that's that's true. Although I'm sure he has his accent.
Yeah,
It's just
camera.
don't do yourself
Always-
down, Scott. You can be Bond if you want to be Bond.
Always off camera.
Yeah. Oh dear. So maybe you're right, Adam, and then in turn, Steph. Yeah, maybe James Bond is a continual cycle of the soul, and not necessarily a man. And in the same token, so we all, except we're not all James Bond. Let's be honest. I think you're right there.
No,
Steph.
we're not James
Bond. No.
Quite, I can say it definitively. we're
So
not
anyway,
James
Tina
Bond.
Turner sang the intro.
She
That
did.
was cool.
Yeah. That was
That was
good.
great. She is a babe, and the intro song I like, but I like Diamonds Are Forever a lot.
Yeah,
more.
because that was what you were singing the whole way through
the
this
whole
one.
time.
I like Diamonds Are
Yeah,
Forever.
clearly.
That's a really catchy song, and I think was it Kanye West who made that a rap song?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
There you go,
yeah.
and that's actually a good Kanye West rap song. There aren't that many,
Yeah.
but the College Dropout is a good album.
Bitch, you the hobbit.
It's not on the College Dropout.
yeah.
Yeah. So
You better tell me now how you know the habit.
Yeah, so there's one thing I want to say. So after we finished that, he's kind of, did all that stuff with Alec Trevelyan.
So, so the point of that was to destroy the facility.
Yeah, and then he...
Wait, hold on. We forgot about his great escape.
Oh, the plane!
No,
That's what I was saying.
no, the great escape from the building before we got to the plane.
Oh, jumping
Oh,
on like
Joe
a conveyor
Manuel.
belt.
Travel
The
mates.
ba-
Conveyor
yeah, no.
belt.
So basically, what happened was, Alec
Oh,
got
yeah.
caught and then got shot, or
Yeah.
he wasn't shot. I can't remember. And then
Yeah.
Bond pulls out a big trolley full of explosive barrels,
Yeah.
so the people can't shoot him. So he slowly walks across the room behind the barrels.
Good 5 minutes
Yeah.
of screen time there,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it went
it
on
goes
for
on for ages,
suspiciously
doesn't it?
long, didn't it?
And it's like really quiet room with like, I don't know, 30 people pointing guns at him.
Yeah.
And he's just slowly walking across the room.
Have they seen me yet?
Yeah.
The best thing about that is just in silence as it's going across, just that one wheel on it is just going...
I was, like I was saying, when,
that's funny.
like I was saying when we were watching it, like if this was like any supermarket trolley, he'd been going round in circles the whole time. 'Cause there's one
there's
broken
always
One
the one
busted
wheel.
wheel.
Oh man! Luckily, they didn't have any supermarket trolleys in this secret Russian nuclear facility.
Yeah.
But if they did,
But then
he would be in serious trouble.
then he jumped on the little
Conveyor belt.
conveyor belt thing, and he shot like a wall compartment, which
Yeah.
dropped a door, and dropped like 100 explosive barrels on them.
Yeah.
Like they just kept coming.
There
Didn't
were a
they?
lot of
One
them.
of them exploded.
Yeah,
No.
they did once the mine went off. That you said.
Ah, yeah, but I mean,
No, one of
They
them
didn't,
exploded.
they
from
didn't
impact.
explode off their own volition.
off
It was because they were all falling on soft
and
bodies.
this is something I want our listeners to remember right now, is that those barrels didn't explode. That sentence will
Yeah,
come back
yeah,
when we talk about
yeah.
the game, and there's good reason for that. So those barrels didn't explode.
Those lockers didn't explode.
Yes.
Those desks
and-
didn't explode.
Yeah, and that scientist didn't die. No, wait, sorry, Seth. No, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But yeah. So I mean, it was
But yeah, really cool opening scene. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed that.
it was awesome.
Then it
was
gets a bit
very awesome.
slow. Casino scene, standard James Bond casino
Well,
scene.
before
with
before
the girl.
that, the car chase.
Oh yeah.
And
Well, it's not a
With,
car chase, it's a
casino
race.
on
well, it's like
something.
yeah, they're kind of having, but I mean, I kind of found it a bit like, because it was like first of all the music didn't fit. Let's be
Oh, the
honest.
music was terrible.
It was almost like slap bass porn music.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
it was
The
like
thing is-
bad
Porn
80s
music.
porn.
yeah, it was like bad 80s porn music. And remember, like we're not taking the piss. This was made in '95. They should do better by then.
Yeah, 90s porn music.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
The thing is, though, they started off with showing, we all agreed, the best James Bond car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
one is it again, Scott?
DB5, I think. Is it DB5?
I think so. Or DB9.
I want to
No,
say
DB9's the
5.
latest one. It's the well, not the latest. There's now a new one out. But,
Yeah.
You know, the DB9 is the one out of it's not Quantum of Solace. The Casino Royale.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah, it would be like DB5 or something. Anyway, yeah, it is like.
That one's the, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Adam's looking it up.
I know
so
this.
we'll
So
I
do
know
I.
this is. I know this is
DB5.
like. I know this is like a bit
No.
out of the blue,
No, it's
but
Yeah, it's a good car. It's
and
one
I
of my
know this is
favourites.
basically this is going to do nothing for my street cred, but that car for me isn't necessarily synonymous with James Bond. It's more synonymous with "Burn" by Usher.
What? Let it burn. Burr, 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 burr.
No, the old Usher song, and
That
he
is
has
it.
one of those DB5s in it, and
Is
there's
he?
a palm tree on fire, and he's like that palm tree's
Yeah,
on
that's
fire.
the song.
Yeah, he pulls up in his like DV5 and
That's
looks,
just, like,
looks at a
ruined the
palm
car
tree
for
on
me.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, well that's what's so shameful about this is like that car for me is just like I remember it from a really shit R&B song,
Yeah.
not from
Yeah,
like
that's-
James Bond. It
That shit.
is shit, isn't it? It's really shit. But anyway, so I mean,
So the car chase with the bad music.
yeah, so but I mean, it was kind of like a nonsensical scene because after like a really strong opening and really action packed and like has a lot going on and it introduces a lot quite quickly. Like it has obviously James Bond. It introduces what you think is the main antagonist, the guy with the face.
The guy with the face.
The guy with the face,
Oh. Yeah,
Uh,
frying pan face.
frying
Yeah.
pan face, and then also it has Alec Trevelyan and introduces him. What are you
The
laughing
guy
at?
with the face.
Yeah, the guy with the
Oh my
face.
god, he has a face.
It's a fucking horrible one,
Yeah,
but he's
but
got one.
Just-
I mean, admittedly, like I don't think he actually looks like. I think it's prosthetics.
I
But-
hope it is.
No,
Yeah, no.
definitely not. That's his face.
Is it really?
That poor man.
Oh.
God, I hope he's dead now.
Oh,
I hope. Well, not like
That sounded quite brutal.
probably did a bit. But like, I mean, I wouldn't want to live with that face.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a horrible man.
Anyway, but I'm going to completely disagree here because you're trying to get to
What,
the
you thought
point
he was
that-
attractive?
I thought he was beautiful.
All of
You're
them
wrong.
are beautiful.
So the point you're trying to make is that this scene with the car chase is completely redundant and pointless, but it does introduce, in my opinion, one of the sexiest Bond girls that there is. And she's a villain, so I don't know if you can call her a Bond girl, but she is stunning.
She's a semi-love interest.
I
At
was
the
going
same
to
time.
say, she is a
she's-
Bond girl because he ends up banging her at some point.
Well, yeah, she tries to kill him while he's banging her, so I don't know if it counts.
well, it
But
counts.
that's like
That's
her
James Bond,
But
it
that
counts.
is like her calling card.
Yeah,
She only kills when she fucks.
It kind of like kickstarts like the tension between the two, though, doesn't it? You know,
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
a bit of healthy
Yeah.
competition. You know.
Oh, I did make.
I don't know if it was healthy. They were racing down a mountainside.
Yeah,
and she looks so much fitter in this than she does as Jean Grey, in my opinion. Because in this, she looks like
She
Is that
is
the actor
Jean
Jean
Grey.
Grey?
yeah.
Actor, actress, whatever.
I can't
What?
remember her name.
She,
Sorry,
yeah.
get her name up. But yeah,
Hang
she's
on.
Jean Grey.
Hang on.
But in
She's
this, she
also
looks
the-
actually unhinged. Like she will, she'll probably bite.
Well, she's a
Anything
good
she
actor
can
then,
get her
isn't
teeth
she?
on.
Oh, that was
I just
that's
swerved
quite a
that.
good
I just
save.
swerved that quickly.
But I wanted to make a point because we were talking about this race. So they're kind. It's like it's in French, isn't it? It's like in the French kind of mountains.
It's in French.
Yeah, that was bad. Wasn't it? it's in French. Like even the car is in French. Everything's in French. France.
It's in France.
It's
yeah.
in France.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Is that-
This
It's
is.
meant to be like a little like Tour de France of the cyclists as well. I
Yeah.
assume, like a
Yeah,
little
I
Well,
assume.
well
homage
this
to
is
that.
this is the point that I was gonna pick out is because You weren't very keen on the cyclists, were you, Steph? Nothing even happened. Literally, cyclists went on screen. Steph just went, hit him.
Well, no, I don't have a problem with cyclists. What I have a problem with, right, is I do a lot of driving in central London. All right?
Yes.
And cyclists seem to have this idea that they should be at the front of traffic at all times.
Yeah,
But-
in London, yeah, definitely.
But as slow as anything, right? So you pull up to the red light and you wait. There's a little cyclist box in front of you. And then, next thing you know, a swarm of cyclists appear and surround you.
Yeah.
Right? Light goes green. Cyclists take quite
Ages.
a while to get off and going again.
Yeah.
By the time they've all got going enough that you can safely move your car without hitting anyone, the light's gone red. And
Yes.
then you're waiting for the next group of scientists? Cyclists. I've got scientists on the mind.
To discover a cure for the affliction of cycling.
To save us from this curse.
Oh,
No, and then they come and then they surround you again and you try and get off and then they're bumping it. It's a nightmare. I don't like driving in central London with cyclists around because
Yeah.
if they just stuck to the left, right, we'd be fine. We'd all get on well. But no, they have to be at the front and then they're slow. It's like, yeah, it's
Steph,
really
I
annoying.
really think you'll appreciate this note.
But well done, you're saving the world with your carbon footprint. I do appreciate that.
Well, actually, there's a huge carbon footprint in the mass production of bikes, so
Swings and roundabouts.
swings and roundabouts.
That's a bloody good point.
Exactly. So, but basally, I think you'll like this.
Wait,
note.
hold on, we got an engineer here, and engineer looks like he's going to talk.
Yeah, no, it's just the generally the use from like energy from petrol and stuff like that is significantly outweighing the production.
It is, but let's be honest.
Plus, if they weren't
It's
driving
not
bikes,
like-
they'd be driving
We're looking for
cars.
any kind of win.
No, you can always.
Actually, you're right, Adam. Yeah.
No, mate. Look, all I'm saying, make your bike out of wood, and drive it
Yeah, there's-
in temperate countries.
Some Scandinavian countries are doing that.
Boom. That right there is a mic drop. That was a mic. Sorry, I just fucking broke everything. Yeah, so basically, you'll like this note I made. The film portrays cyclists as foolish, loveless, heartless, motherless monsters.
What? Jesus, I don't know where you got that from.
From
Read
your
in between the
reaction.
lines.
From your reaction. In fairness, your reaction was hit him, and I thought, yeah, that definitely presents them as foolish, loveless, heartless, motherless monsters.
Fair enough. I'm just going to say now, I do like cyclists, just don't get in my way in central
Yeah,
London.
and James Bond didn't hit one of them. In fact, they fucked
No.
themselves up.
Yeah,
and fell
because one
over.
guy got scared and
Yeah.
dominoed themselves. All...
But his pedal fell off. That's
Yeah.
a shit bike. Like, if you're going to go up like a French mountain, it's like 2,000 feet. You're gonna you need a decent bike, and literally he puts his foot on it and the pedal falls off.
And then he dominoes everyone else down the cliff.
You're
Yeah.
not gonna do like the Tour de France from like a bike from Halfords, are you? Really?
Well,
No,
this
you'd
guy
expect
might.
it. Yeah.
This guy might.
No, this guy won't go for Halfords, he'll go for Toys R Us.
Yeah, exactly.
Fisher Price bike.
Yeah. So I did also write straight after that, Russian lady is beautiful. So I think my mind was stuck on cyclists and beautiful women.
And now Scott's going to tell us what her name is, the actress.
Oh God.
Okay, come on, Scott.
Oh,
Okay.
that's me now.
You've been horrible. Yeah.
Her surname is Janssen,
Okay.
but
Oh.
her first name, do you know what, I'm definitely just going to insult
Should I?
wherever she's from. Is it Famke? I don't quite know.
Famke Janssen?
Famke.
Famke.
Famke?
Funk.
I feel like I need-
Famke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Famke Janssen is an insanely beautiful woman, and in this film, she is more
Sorry,
insanely
Scott.
beautiful
Sorry.
than ever.
Thank you.
But the thing is, we can't just focus on her looks. Although, let's be honest, that's why she was hired at the time. Because her acting's atrocious. No, it is. She has a bad Russian accent.
Well, they all seem to have bad Russian accents.
Yeah.
Especially
Alan Fleming.
Cummings.
Alan Fleming. Sorry, I'm on the Bond theme. Sorry.
Alan Cummings, yeah, it's like a... But in fairness, it's like, it reminds me, we're getting a bit off subject.
Yeah.
Should we go back to the subject?
Depends, I want to hear what your
What I'm going to say, Alan Cummings, who plays Boris in this film, is playing a Russian computer hacker with like a Scottish twang. And it reminded me of when Sean Connery was in Hunt for Red October and played a Russian submarine commander with a Scottish accent, and everyone else is talking with a Russian accent. He's just like, "Yes, very good." It's like, yeah, it doesn't work.
So what else
he was
happened?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so after that, no, after he jumps out of the dam, and he does all that madness,
And he's
and
had his
Alec dies and all
car
that, and he
race.
gets on the thing. Well, no, before the car race.
Oh.
It's 9 years later after.
Oh God, yeah.
After he's escaped in the plane.
And he hasn't aged a day.
No.
He looks as handsome.
Adam
as
made
ever.
the point
But
that Pierce Brosnan still looks good today.
Oh, he does. He's a great looking guy.
But he literally didn't age at all.
No. No. Not at
And
all.
neither did Frying.
He is
Pan.
remarkably active though.
Well, he looked
So
fucking ancient.
he's got to be pretty healthy.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. And I imagine he eats well.
Yeah.
He's got a half decent salary.
But you know, like they
in
normally
episodes.
try, like they normally grey a little bit of the hair.
Yeah, there was none of that.
No,
none of
not
that at all.
No, it's literally like stop filming and then they carried on filming and just shoved 9 years later. Or was it 9 years?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's amazing.
Good old decade almost.
Yeah, I
Mm.
think we're really missing the point of, like, it's not real.
Well, none of this is real.
That's true. Oh God, you're getting metaphysical.
Yeah, here we go.
Exactly. Oh shit. Well, on that note, so he has this little car chase. Do they talk with the car chase? Because
Yeah,
I
he's
feel
in
like...
the car with Moneypenny.
No, he is. But like, didn't
no.
the Russian lady just drive off and then he ends up snogging Moneypenny's face off?
Yep.
And then he fucks off to a casino.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he has a boring casino scene with
The Russian lady.
Russian lady, and
Yes.
But he does order his famous drink.
then he does.
Yes. You need to tell us what the real name of that is.
Ah, the Vespa.
You see, you were right about that, Adam. For such a for a drink which has such romantic connotations with James Bond, it's not a very romantic name,
No.
you know.
But
Vespa.
I think the purpose behind it, I think Scott was saying that it's Vespa, his
It's
like one true love.
Yeah, it's the name
So he's
he's named
named the
after.
drink after that. But
Oh.
really, you won't like James Bond to be drinking something a bit
No.
hardcore, like the AK.
I'll have a pint of Carlin.
Carling.
I'll have a pint of Carlin,
No,
shaken.
Before
not
upset
stirred.
too
Bud
many
Light.
Yeah.
James Bond fans, like they did like do a tally out of all the books and like the most he ever has is like whiskey or something like that. So he does have like a good old
Oh.
stereotypical masculine drink.
Oh.
Glenfiddich.
Yeah, I can't stand whiskey.
Glenfiddich. The whiskey's nice.
I like a good whiskey.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
Can't do it. Don't
Nice.
like it.
You could never be James Bond.
No.
We've already established that I'm not James Bond.
If you were James Bond, you'd be a very metaphysical James Bond. You'd just be like, I could murder you,
But
but
what's
would
the
that
point?
even be real? And am
Yeah.
I here? Maybe I should just go home and watch Jeremy Kyle in the dark and eat
No, I only watched
kettle
Jeremy
chips
Kyle.
frozen.
When I was at uni, and I thought, I don't think I'm doing the right choice in my life. And then I look at Jeremy Kyle. Within 5 seconds, I go, I am great.
Yeah, good
That's
point.
the only time you need Jeremy Kyle in your life. If you're feeling slightly down about yourself, watch Jeremy Kyle for 5 seconds, and you'll be
5 seconds
You'll be
is
back on
it's
it.
all it takes. Is
You can see the opening
prerequisite.
scene. It's like you slept with my mum's
Dog.
husband's dog, and now
And now
it's
it's pregnant
Yeah,
with
and-
puppies, and I need childcare, and you're not going to do it because you're a drug addict molester, and
I need a DNA
help
test.
Jeremy, and I need an AIDS test
and
and,
a pregnancy test.
and a pregnancy test. I thought you're a man. I am a man. I can have what I want. I can do what I want. I
That's
am
the
what I
normal
want.
title on the
Yeah,
bottom of Jeremy
yeah.
Kyle
This is
screen.
yeah. This, in fact, this was the episode I watched yesterday, which is why it's fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, 9 years on, he goes to a casino, and obviously he doesn't meet the Russian lady there by chance, does he, Adam? He meets her there because...
He's a spy.
Well, that's true.
Plot
yeah.
twist.
That
Yeah,
is true. That
spoilers.
is
I did call it from the beginning though.
I
Oh,
was
I didn't hear
not
that.
expecting this, you know.
true. No.
No.
So, I mean, he's obviously on this lady's trail.
And then there's some boring stuff, and they end up stealing a helicopter.
Well, no, there wasn't. There was something very not boring that happened. He killed a man with a towel.
Good point.
Mm-hmm. So basically, we were talking about this because James Bond, after getting some photos of this Russian lady, and after she kills a guy by crushing him between her thighs during sexual intercourse.
Which was fucking hot.
I don't know if that picked it up, man. Do you want to say that again?
I said that was fucking hot.
There we
I don't
go.
know if you've ever seen a woman kill a man with her thighs, but it's pretty attractive.
It's more attractive
I don't
than
think
I
I ever have.
expected. Well, we have now.
Actually, no, I have. Mortal Kombat the movie. I'm sure that
Shit, that's another
Sonya
episode.
Blade
That's another
kills
episode.
whatever his name is with her fires.
Who?
The one that has half the metal face.
Kano.
Kano.
Kano. She kills
Does
him.
she?
Yeah, I'm sure she does.
She must have
Maybe.
bloody strong thighs.
She
'Cause
snaps his
that's-
neck.
oh my god. And he's got a chunky neck. He's built.
Yeah.
Kano's strong.
What a film.
Yes. It is a film.
I do love that. Actually, I love that.
It's a
film.
guilty pleasure.
It's got one of the best soundtracks.
It
Or,
is
like
a very guilty pleasure.
the opening song or whatever.
Yeah.
The theme tune to the film is what I'm looking for.
So basically, after he gets
I want
this
to talk
kind
about
of
Mortal Kombat more.
you can't. You are not allowed. You are not allowed.
Okay, back on
So
it.
so when he gets some tracking like information of this woman, and she does her business killing blokes in their sleep. Well, no, while sleeping with them. He gets on this boat, which is where he believes her to be. He's tracked her down to this point.
I think so. I don't know why he's tracking her, but yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and so he kind of climbs through one of the boat's kind of like port side or starboard side, I don't remember, window, gets in, and he just like picks up a towel and whips this like thing out of this guy's hand, wraps the towel around his neck, strangles him a little bit, and then just lobs him down the stairs with the like elasticity and force of the towel, and this guy just dies. And I thought, well, he didn't like talk to him. He didn't check anything. The guy may not have had a weapon, and I just thought it's a waiter.
It would be a
with
very
vol-au-vents.
different movie if James Bond like went through a checklist before he killed anyone.
Yeah, do you have any
But you
tips?
should, because you can't just go around killing people willy nilly. That's not how the world works.
He has a license to kill.
which
He's
is a
legally
movie,
allowed to do it.
and License to Kill is a movie. Or was it License to Thrill?
License to kill.
Definitely
License to
License to
Thrill is a
Kill.
bit shit sounding.
Yeah,
isn't
License
it?
to Thrill
License
sounds
to Thrill
shite.
sounds really crap. That's the type of movie I would make if somebody gave me a small budget.
It kind of
They
sounds
were
like,
like, here's
porno
here-
parody.
Yeah, it's like, here's £100, Tom. Can you make a porno parody of James Bond? I could make it with £10.
Right, so you've been asked to make a porno parody of James Bond, and you've got the whole
Oh.
world of James
But
Bond,
wait-
and you go with
License.
a license to thrill.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are better ones.
cock.
So original. The man with the
Golden cock.
I think you still go with Goldfinger.
Oh,
yeah, of course.
Yeah, that is good. Doctor, no. Yeah, so basically this is a little bit of shameless promotion here, but if any of you are willing, listening to this right now, to fund me in creating James Bond porn parodies, I'm your guy.
He's asked because he's asked us, and we all said no.
That is true. Although, Adam, you haven't yet. What's your verdict?
I'm still holding out. I'm waiting to see what comes.
Oh, I've
of
got
it.
something to prove to you. Yeah, have I?
It's like the worst episode of Dragon's Den.
I'll wait till I see the
Look,
script.
Look, I'm not looking for much. I'm looking for £4 million
You get 5%
for half a film. Yeah, exactly.
Right, should we get on to it then? So, what did we think? Do we like the film?
Love the film.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
it's
first
a
half
good
hour,
film.
good, good.
Yeah, absolutely
Would you
fantastic.
carry on watching it?
Definitely.
Yeah, of course, of course.
I think most of the Bond films have been brilliant. You know, this was
Yeah.
no exception to that. There's only really been a few which have been a bit crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Definitely.
wouldn't.
You wouldn't carry
No,
on
I just
watching
wanted to see your
it? Oh, my
reactions.
word.
Jesus
No, I'd
Christ.
definitely carry on watching it. But for me, a lot of the magic was just because it was a great adaptation of the game.
Yep. Oh no. Vice.
No,
other way
yeah,
around.
no.
Not
The
for
game
Steph.
came first. For me, the game came first.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go on to the game then, Steph. So
So the game came out in when?
August
1997.
'97.
So it took 2.5 years of development to come out after the film.
Sounds like how long it
Yeah.
takes to do an Avatar film.
An Avatar film.
Yeah.
Well, it's taken them years to
I
do
know.
Avatar
It's
2.
a bit
longer than that.
I don't even want Avatar 2.
Are they doing an Avatar 2?
They've like boosted
Yeah,
it
they're
up
doing
like
that
a
Avatar
trilogy.
2, 3, 4, 5.
They're
Really?
also making an Avatar game, by the way. So
They've made one?
We could feature
They
that.
did
No,
make-
like a new, like immersive Avatar game.
Really?
Yeah.
Like an RPG
Can't
kind of
fucking
thing.
wait
Wait
to
for
find some of that
that,
unobtainium.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the game came out in August 1997.
Yep.
For
And
the
developed
N64,
by
developed
the
by
now
Rare.
legendary studio Rare. Yeah.
Well, they're not legendary. Or they're legendary
They are
for
now.
this, but they're not very great now, are they?
Well, the thing is, even
No.
when they were,
They got bought by Microsoft, and they've just churned out a load of Kinect games.
Yeah, I mean, true enough. But like, I mean,
Although they're doing that Sea of Thieves, didn't they? That
Yeah,
looks like
but
it could be good.
I don't know.
It'll be interesting.
I mean, it could be, but I mean,
But
But
they're legendary for the games like Banjo-Kazooie and...
Jet Force Gemini,
Yeah.
Perfect Dark, Goldeneye, fucking amazing games.
Yeah.
N64 era, basically, they were
Yeah,
like,
they were-
and
they were
Conker's
on
Bad Fur
point.
Day.
Yes.
Like, they had so many good
I
games.
love
Killer
Conker's
Instinct.
Bad Fur Day. That is an absolutely amazing game.
Yeah. They did loads of crazy stuff on the N64.
So they're
amazing.
legendary for what they were. But
But
I
didn't
wouldn't
we
say they're
read something
legendary now.
saying that the team of developers that they had to come in and do the game were quite amateur?
Yeah, so
Mm.
they were none of them had coded before and stuff like that. That's why the boss of Rare said, "Look, we're going to take as much time as we need," and they, 2.5 years.
Did an amazing job considering.
Yeah, they went on
Really
to set
did.
and took photos of the sets and all that, and
Yeah.
made notes and
That's a good first point to come to, because that's one of the notes I made, is that the kind of juxtaposition of the game and the film, like, absolutely amazing.
yeah. I was looking at the film, going, "This is exactly like the game."
Yeah.
It was
like
great.
all of the scenes
Like,
and
yeah,
the
like-
setup and everything, like the facility especially. At the
Yeah,
beginning.
it had the same scissored kind of doors. It
Yeah.
had the same monitors off the ceiling.
Yep.
Same
Yeah.
generic scientists just
Same
walking around.
generic
Yeah.
scientists.
Like 7 years of education just to be blown up by a mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So there was a few things about the game, because obviously Rare developed Donkey Kong Country,
Yes.
which went down really well. Everyone loved that.
Yeah, classic game.
It's a good
Classic
game.
game. Yeah.
So originally they were thinking of doing this as a 2D side scroller, Goldeneye,
Yeah.
which bit boring. But they were going to release it for the SNES, so the SNES didn't really have any 3D shooting games that I
Yeah.
can think of. Probably had Doom, if it had Doom. Maybe Doom. Doom was on everything. Do you know Doom was on a Porsche 911?
What?
Yeah. They put Doom onto a 911, and you when you drove with the steering wheel, it looked on the
So they integrated the controllers into the steering wheel and stuff.
yeah, but then the actual car itself on the dash had a screen, and Doom was on the screen.
How did you fire your gun? Did you honk the horn?
I don't know how you fired the gun.
Accelerator,
Sounds
maybe?
dangerous to
Accelerator.
me.
It sounds very
Yeah.
dangerous, doesn't it?
Yeah, back in the day.
But,
Jesus.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, so Doom, because Doom was at absolutely everything.
I don't know if
Your
it was on the
toaster could probably
SNES.
play Doom.
I don't know if it was on the SNES though. I think it was definitely on the N64.
Hmm.
What was it? It was on
Probably.
the N64.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't at 64. Anyway, so then they decided, let's make it a 3D game because of the power of the next Nintendo console, which wasn't out at the time. And it was going to be an on-rails shooter, like Time Crisis.
Which also would have been a pretty lame decision, I think.
Yeah, because as we know from aiming in Goldeneye, aiming with the N64
Jesus
controller
Christ.
Is
is
the problem.
near impossible.
Yeah, it's
As you'll
it's
see
not a
with
pleasure.
Scott and the lock.
Oh god.
If,
okay.
if that video footage is on the YouTube
Well,
channel
you
at the
know,
moment,
a
it's
little-
got the lock.
A little bit of like a break from me. Like I wasn't even holding the controller right to begin with. So
Yeah, Scott had never played an N64 before, so he done well.
I
feel
find
sorry
that
for me.
incredible though.
Oh yeah, it's just that I guess like when I was younger, like I got given my first console, the Sega,
Yeah.
by my uncle, and I had that for ages.
Yeah.
And then went on to the handheld Game Boy.
Yeah.
You know.
And like you were saying, you did just kind of miss that generation.
Yeah.
PS1, N64.
Well, I guess
So good.
I was usually around friends' houses, and they had all the like the Dreamcast and the PS1.
Yeah. Crazy, man.
Yeah.
N64 was unbelievable. I felt like I was like one of the only people that had a PlayStation. I felt like everyone had N64s.
See, I felt the other way around. I felt that everyone else had a PlayStation.
Really?
And I didn't have a PlayStation 1.
I had both.
Alright. Bloody hell.
Sorry. My dad just came home with a big box one day, and me and Luigi were like, what's in the box? What's going on? He'd like turned it upside down, because back then consoles were bloody indestructible. Turned it upside down, all these games fell out, and the PS1 fell out. And then
You
I
know
was
what?
very
As a
excited.
kid, one awesome thing to
Yeah.
for your like dad to come in and just like dump a console in front of you and just be like, have fun.
Yeah, there you go.
That's pretty awesome, man.
Gave me Croc 2.
Legend of the Gobbos.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Great game.
It is fucking awesome.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Memory
right,
lane.
so the first level of GoldenEye is the dam,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
which very, very good to the film.
Mhm.
Well,
Well, they took some...
well
Got
I
some
think the
extra
liberty they're
bits.
taking is because they've kind of taken you a tiny bit before the film starts. So how...
Because the dam scene off from the film as a game would be very boring, because you just run down a thing and jump off.
down.
Yeah. Yeah.
which I reckon I would have still struggled with.
Yeah. But what they did is they got you to get yourself onto the dam, fighting through a load of henchmen to get there, which I thought it's a good way to introduce you to the game.
Yeah,
and to the controls.
Yeah, dynamics and stuff like that. Yeah, it was needed.
If you're watching a YouTube thing and it don't look like the controls are quite there, it's because Scott played the first level, I played the second level, Adam played the third level, and Tom played the fourth level.
Yes.
So that's why the skill set seems to change, because I've had a lot of time.
Sinusoidal, isn't it?
Yeah, and Tom's had a lot of time with the
The correct
game.
word is fluctuate.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. A thing about Dam, because we're talking about the first level, and you pointed this out, that Goldeneye was a huge influence on the Time Splitters series, and Time Splitters 2, their first level was Dam.
Yeah, I didn't realise that. I
No,
read that.
and obviously played both of these games loads of
never
years.
clocked it.
Never occurred. And obviously
No.
it's got the same dynamic,
It's got the
health
same
on the
Yeah,
sides.
it's got the same. Yeah. Same aiming style.
Yeah, so I mean that's the only point really I wanted to make whilst we're on the subject of Dam. But you know, like you say, Ads, it's like a tutorial level without a tutorial.
Yeah.
It's just a simplified level so you can get used to
Yeah,
it.
but they're the best
Before you
levels.
jump
The
on the
best
bridge.
levels are the levels that are tutorials without being tutorials, like
Yeah,
Super
yeah,
Mario
totally.
Brothers 1.
Yeah,
The first level, 1-1, is a great way to train your brain how you play the game.
Yeah.
Without being like, now you press A.
And I
Yeah.
think older games did that so much better than new games do. New games, and I've
oh
said it
yeah.
before.
There's a lot of hand holding.
You know, on the show that
It depends
there's
what
so much
games.
hand holding.
Oh, there
is a
lot, yeah. I like-
Through.
Like the difference between like Horizon Zero Dawn and I think I've talked about this a lot, but Horizon Zero Dawn and Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild just goes, off you go,
Yeah.
fuck you, have some fun, and then
Fuck you.
Horizon's like, alright, make sure you aim now, and make sure you pull back your arrows.
Yeah.
And,
Lots of prompts.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bit insulting.
Like, it's like having to do a Call
Yeah,
of Duty
but then-
tutorial all over again, like after they've released the
Well,
eighth Call of Duty.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
they're the worst, like notorious for terrible hand holding and stuff. But I mean, yeah, I think it is a bit insulting. Like, it
But this does
seems-
a really good job of just dropping you in
Yeah,
it,
just- yeah.
and
It does.
off you go. Because the first guard, he needs to get his eyes checked, because he literally stands there staring at you,
Yeah.
while Scott's looking at the floor, running in circles,
Yeah.
and the guy just has no idea that Scott's
I'm
possibly
just
there.
very sure that one of my character's legs was shorter than the other. That was it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a good time to get onto because, like, you know, finished first level, and obviously, Steph, you started playing Facilities the second level.
Facility, yeah.
So, Steph, by the way, if this has already been played or it is playing currently, or it's been and gone, Steph had the most expert opening to his level. Just shot down the vent, went swiftly up to the hole which overlooks the toilets, shot a guy in the head, like sunk down neatly onto a toilet bowl,
Oh, I
and
know
then
how to do
just
that.
smoothly went out and butchered the rest of it
Yeah.
without
Well, to
blinking
be
an
fair,
eyelid.
me and Adam talked about this before we started playing, and we discussed it was our favourite level out of the whole game.
Yeah.
Really?
I think Facility and the train are my favourite levels in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah? So I played that a hell of a lot, that level. And
Yeah.
we played it a lot in multiplayer as well. So
No,
I know
that is true. That is
inside
true.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
yeah.
used to play because of the cheats. Like you get quite a lot of, you know, just cheats with the game. Like it's not like now we have to faff about. This is kind of just given to you on a plate. So the invincibility and the
Well,
invisibility.
no, you do have to earn the cheats.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah,
to,
you have to
do
complete the game on like 00 Agent, which is like the hard
to get them all. You have to complete
Yeah,
the game.
I
I
think-
think I managed to do that back in the day, but okay.
We
maybe I
all
did.
did though.
We all
but
did, yeah.
we can't imagine it.
Yeah, because now it seems like coming back to it, it seems like it's such a hard control system. But I suppose, like
It
we were
is.
saying,
It
back
is,
in
isn't
the-
it, Scott?
Back in the
Jesus
day, we
Christ,
kind of
it
did
is.
just pick it up, and it just seemed normal because there was nothing to compare it to.
Well, yeah,
There was
that's it.
nothing-
There's
Yeah.
nothing to compare it to, and that's all you knew. I mean, if you go back and play Time Splitters now, it's crap. Like, I mean, it's not crap. It's a great game. I love it.
Mate,
But
that's
the
it.
control system isn't good. It's not good compared to if you play like the latest Call of Duty. Right? You might not like Call of Duty games, great, but you can't deny the fact that they play really well.
Oh, they're smooth as
And,
sick.
uh,
Yeah, yeah,
Such
yeah.
a high frame rate.
Yeah,
you know.
and
Yeah,
they just the gun mechanics is just there.
Yeah, no, they're,
If you go back and play Time Splitters 2 or 3, you're going to have a bit of a tough time.
like
Future
wading
Perfect
through
was brilliant.
molasses.
Future Perfect was great.
It's there. You were there with the double, dual wielding flare guns. Like anyone can like reload dual wielding flare guns.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you shoot like 10 meters in front of the character to get the right shot. You know.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome, man. Like they're incredible games. They're incredible games, and obviously, like the thing is, they took influence from an incredible game, Goldeneye, but they took influence from a game way back in time. So obviously, a lot of the mechanics that they wanted to keep for it to be almost like a spiritual successor were dating big time by the time they were releasing it. It's just, it's natural passage of time. It was just a modern game at the time of release with old dynamics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so on the facility level, this is when things start to become incredibly apparent in this game that everything explodes. Everything explodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything.
Literally, you name it. I mean, it's probably coming right about to the time where you blew up a table with a pistol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I blew up a box.
With a
And I
pistol.
blew up a locker.
With a pistol.
No,
Actually,
that
no, that
one
was an
did with
AK-47,
machine gun,
yeah. Because you blew up quite a few of them. You don't like lockers, do you, Steph?
Well,
I mean, I don't like them either.
It was quite good fun.
But we need them.
It's when you blew up all these lockers, like a massive wave of people came out. You know, like what are you shooting all my belongings?
Yeah, exactly. My manwich. Yeah. So that's one of the dynamics I remember most about this game.
Everything exploded.
Everything fucking explodes, and it's an absolute treat. It's so fucking cool.
Oh, it is great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just funny. Like it's pointless. Just like cardboard boxes. Yep, they explode.
Yeah.
There's nothing inside them. They just blow up.
Also, like you were saying, you played this game a hell of a lot, both back when it first came out and since.
I still do. It's like the only game that I actually have for my N64 out, except from Ocarina of Time.
And you're still noticing new things. What did we notice?
What do we? Oh God, yeah. We
What?
already
So-
knew that everything exploded, but this I didn't see until I was
So
playing
above
through
the
on
doors on all of the facility level
Oh God,
Oh,
is
yeah.
a sign of a James Bond silhouette figure
Yep.
with like a big red cross, like no
The
James
Ghostbusters
Bonds
No
No
allowed.
James Bonds. No James Bonds
Very
allowed.
forward thinking, those Russians.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
exactly.
James Bonds allowed.
Yeah, scarily forward
Yeah.
thinking.
There's like a story behind every sign, though, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. Well, like the thing is like they could have a no James Bond sign, but then wouldn't he question? He would say, "What about the Alec Trevelyan signs? Where are they?"
Well, that's why Alec was already in there with
that's
no
true.
issue. Alec was already waiting.
Yeah.
Whilst I'd murdered about 40 people on my way down there.
Yeah, he was like, "Quiet journey, was it, James?
Nice and easy,
Nice
wasn't
and
it, James?
smooth journey, was it?"
I've only
James?
got 2 out of 5 mines left, Alex.
Yeah. It's like, why is that, James? Don't worry, Alex. For Queen and Country, James. For Queen
Scientists.
and Country. Yes. What was that, James? Nothing, Alec. Nothing.
Yeah, so I did fail the mission because Tom egged me on to mine some scientists.
Well, what I really wanted you to do, right, is that I know, like, because you know they run, like, when they're running away, they run away, like, on rails, so they're programmed to just run at certain things. So if you block them off enough, you can just block them off into a corner, and they'll keep running into the corner, and the programming just thinks it's constantly moving, but they're not. So what you can do is run them into a corner, they keep running, mine the fucker up. Mine him up, and they will stick to him. So just 5 mines, 1 on each shoulder, 1 on the bum, 1 on the back of the foot, and 1 on the head. And then press your little watch, ding, and watch the fireworks. No more scientist, but I got a key card out of it. Why would the key card not blow up?
Well, no, but
That's the point. That's the point. It incinerated a fucking man. It destroyed a key card, you know.
Inside a Nokia 3210i. That's my only reason though.
That is a
That
good
is it,
point.
yeah, the Nokia
That thing would
3210.
last a nuclear fallout, you know. That's a good point. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, so I egged you on, but with good reason, I think. Because let's be honest, it was quite funny.
it was funny, yeah.
Like it's you know, I will do anything for a giggle, and mining a scientist is perfect.
We had a giggle.
Yeah.
But no, this game done such a good job of representing the film.
Yeah.
I still
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
believe how good it actually done.
Oh no, it's absolutely amazing. It's
I mean,
absolutely
like
amazing.
I said, took some
And-
liberties. I mean, in Adam's level, there's a tank.
yeah.
I don't remember there being a tank.
Which they used to great effect. I was just,
You,
I'll have it, yeah.
you did us all proud, Adam. You did us all proud.
Yeah.
Doors
Doors though. They were hard.
One day I'll
not your
master
strong
the
suit.
door.
That's a hell of like a CV if you can put in your pros column tanks and in your cons column doors. It's like it'd be the most interesting person for a job interview, wouldn't it? I see you like tanks. Probably not the best job for a door company.
I guess if you like got a tank license, you don't really need doors. You make your own.
Yeah.
That's a good
That's a
point.
good point.
Do you need a particular license for a tank?
I fucking hope so.
I'm actually going to throw this out there. I don't think you do. I think you can drive a tank on a car license, but
What? Who has a
genuinely-
tank lying around you could just jump in? It's not GTA.
There's a guy that owns one up near the road going towards Boreham Wood. This means nothing to anyone listening right now, so sorry, but there is a guy who owns a tank, and it's out in his backyard on the road going out towards Boreham Wood. Shit you not. No, I shit you not. I shit you not. There is a guy with a tank.
There used to be a tank at Well End site, you know, like campsite just out, or I think towards Hertfordshire way.
Yeah. There was some great graffiti that went around Well End, and literally this kid's just thought it'd be so funny. Yeah, but on every sign in the town, and every sign for a 5 mile radius pointing out the town. So for a 5 mile radius, you were driving into Bell End, and it's fucking marvellous. And I want to shake this kid's hand. Then they got rid of all the bees, and it went back to Well End, and I was like, well, that's quite funny too, because it sounds like Bell
Sounds like Bell End.
It sounds like Bell End.
It was like when someone thought they were genius by getting rid of the Fosters from Cockfosters.
Oh yeah, I mean that was funny. And then they rubbed that out, and then so they put an E, and it was Cockfesters, which I thought was good as well.
I thought that was better than
that was
cock.
Cockfesters is pretty
Yeah.
awesome. But anyway, you know, we are going off topic
A little bit.
in a big way. So yeah, Adam,
People now know where we live. I think we've already said where we live.
yeah, I think we probably have. We're not big on privacy, are we? Come meet us. Come have a laugh. Steph's address is. Yeah, so Adam had a groovy time in a tank, and that wasn't true to the film. That is true, but
That's fun.
yeah, and at the same time, I don't remember there being a giant drop at the end of the runway on the actual level, the game level.
No, you just
I
got
remember
you
seeing
got in the
mountains
plane.
in the back.
You
Yeah,
got in the
You
plane
got in
and
the
then it goes to a
plane, that's
cutscene.
Yeah,
but how does he fly off?
he just flies off.
He just flies off in the game.
I
You have
don't
the-
get
you have
it. Is
the
it like a
key.
Harrier jump jet where they can?
Well, no, he just
No, he has a
goes
bit. He has
runway,
like a
goes
small
to-
runway,
lifts
and then
off
he
a
just
small
and
bit
then
of
he's.
runway.
No, but
goes-
like what I'm trying to say is like there wasn't like there was not much more runway, but then it was covered by mountains because they were shooting at you from a distance.
No, that was a gun that's in the mountain because you're in kind of like a valley.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a mounted gun on the side of the valley, but then in front of you there was a drop and then mountains in the distance.
Ah. Okay, that makes more sense.
I agree with you. The graphics aren't very good, so you can't really tell.
No, no, that is true. But I mean, you know, at the time, that's the thing to point out. At the time, these were good graphics.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that snow level that you're on. I can't like. I'm not talking graphically here because the snow level's not very good example.
No.
But it's a big world. Like it's a big like
Yes.
environment for
Yeah.
for the N64 for one level.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Mario 64 had probably bigger levels and more going on, but
Yeah,
still,
it was more detailed, but like it's a very different like
Yes,
engine, the way
yeah.
it's made.
yeah.
Like,
And this engine was built for this game.
was it really?
Yeah, about a year of development was on the engine for the game.
Shit,
Oh Christ.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
I'm
Well,
sure
they
I
did
read
an
that on
amazing job then,
Wikipedia.
because like the whole Mario thing is like, it's a developed engine, and also it's like it's not really like seriously taxing in terms of like, you know, the modelling and designing of that. But obviously, this being a new engine and it being kind of they're taking a more realistic approach. Obviously, the kind of development of the characters and the models and that sort of stuff, it's going to be slightly more taxing.
So that
like,
leads us on quite nicely, actually. So if they've made the whole new engine for the game, cash grab or not?
Well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll get to that.
we will get to that. But there's one thing I wanted to point out about the multiplayer. You were saying earlier it was just tagged on as an extra.
I'm sure I heard that. I couldn't find it on the Wikipedia page, but I'm sure that it was this game where there wasn't any multiplayer planned, and what they'd done was they just towards the last month before it came out, they decided let's get it in there. So they stuck it in, and that's why it's quite basic
It
in
is,
terms of
but
like
it's-
levels.
But it's
and all
also
that.
great.
Oh no, I'm not.
I'd
Not
probably have more
it's-
fun on the
it's-
multiplayer.
but
than
that's
on
the
thing.
on the campaign.
The game took off because of the multiplayer. But
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm going to do some Googles.
It became, because it's considered now a classic multiplayer. Like like Steph, me and Steph travelled to Eurogamer last year, and they have like their classic retro section, And in the classic retro section now, like, and this is like always a custom now at the Eurogamer event, that they just have a sit-down table with N64s, and at least 2 of them have GoldenEye multiplayer. All the
And
time.
time splitters.
Yeah. So I mean, like, it's obviously become something which is like considered a classic.
Yeah, here we
classic
go.
multiplayer.
So GoldenEye 007's multiplayer was added last minute, unknown to Rare and Nintendo management.
Really?
That's
Yeah,
nice.
so they just whacked it in there knowing it was, needed to be done.
I feel like I've got to give this a go at some point.
And didn't even tell
Oh
their
yeah,
bosses.
you do. Oh yeah, you do. They didn't tell them.
So when was the game released? August.
August '97. Yeah, 25th
So-
of August.
So the guy said one of the things that strikes me as crazy in retrospect is that until something like March or April of 1997, there wasn't a multiplayer mode at all.
That is crazy. That is really crazy. And it's crazy to think that actually something that was tagged on that quick has become a classic multiplayer.
And it kind of started the trend for everything that's come since, all the way up to Call of Duty, because that was the first sort of... Was it?
I'd say this was the game. I mean, I don't know when like Unreal Tournament and that got, but I would say this is the first console, split screen, first person shooter multiplayer game.
Yeah.
I'd
You're
say
right.
this kickstarted console ones. I can't say about PC because I don't really know when, because like Quake 2 had like massive online, didn't it? And
Yeah.
I don't know when all that came out, but for console, I would say this was probably the first.
Well, I mean, 97. I mean, obviously there was nothing beforehand. I mean, this is the generation where something like this would have come around. So it's just a matter of, was there a game we don't know about
I just
before GoldenEye that kind of did multiplayer in a similar way? But if not,
Could
then
be.
yeah, this is very much.
Let us
What?
know if we're wrong.
Yes. Comment and let us know, or send an email. What's the email address?
cashgrabpodcast@gmail.com.
There you go. Send it to that and let us know. And we just get an email saying you're wrong.
Yeah.
Well, there you
You're
go.
wrong with no context.
Well,
Alright, yeah.
Well,
I guess
there you
you're
go.
right.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, it's like-
We'll take your word for it.
yeah. Yeah. But there's a few points I wanted to point out now that we've done, like, we've covered kind of our time with the film and the game. I want to do some comparisons, right? So I've spoken about how the level design is very true to the film and the portrayal of the scenarios and environments in the film. Also,
Yes.
the music.
Music, really good.
The music is, but look, there's massive similarities. If not, I don't even know if they used some of the music from the film, but it sounds almost identical
Yeah.
in places.
Yeah.
Be cost effective.
Well, it would.
Would be
So,
cost effective, yeah.
So I mean, I'm guessing they spliced some bits and just put it on a loop.
Yeah.
You know.
Lowered the bit rate of it and whacked it in there.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I'd point out those as kind of like, you know, huge similarities between
Yep.
the two, if
Yeah,
not
definitely.
identical in places. But
Mhm.
you know, I mean, you know, I think the game is awesome. Like we were saying earlier, like we grew up playing it, and you know what I've seen of the film. Obviously, I have watched it before in the past in its entirety, but I don't remember like much beyond what we saw. But at the same time, you know, there's so much which is true to one another.
Yeah.
And considering these are like released 2 years apart, you know, I think it's did a fucking incredible job.
Yeah, agreed.
Definitely.
So, would you carry on playing the game,
Yeah,
Afterwards.
100%.
Tom? Adam?
Yeah.
Scott?
Yes. Bit of practice on the controller, but
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Well, one of you can have my N64 because I won't play it again.
Oh, for God's sake, Steph.
No, of course
What
I
is
won't
wrong?
play it.
What's wrong with you today?
John's going to be controversial.
What's wrong
Yeah,
with you?
I just want to be. I want to start an argument
Yeah.
because it's
Because
difficult when we pick like a
we
really
don't
good
argue,
game.
We don't argue enough. There's
No.
not enough drama in Cash
It's like-
Grab.
it's
Fuck
like-
you, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
oh.
like, would you play The Crow again? No. Yes. All right.
Yeah.
No question. Why would you play one of the worst games ever again? But anyway, what do we think?
We did say yes for the Crow, didn't we? If we were drunk.
Oh yeah, only if we were stomach pump drunk.
Yeah,
I
stomach.
can't
pump
imagine
drunk.
playing this game drunk. I'd like shoot. Maybe I'd get better at shooting. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, it might surprise you.
It might
yeah.
be like Paul and Snooker.
You might,
see
yeah,
the
just some
angles
like
better.
Dutch courage. Yeah, it just
yeah.
like gets you. Yeah, you suddenly become amazing with ballistics. You know,
Yeah.
it's like
Wait a sec, Coriolis effect.
yeah. But
Go
no.
on then, Ad. What do you reckon? Do you think 007 GoldenEye on the N64 is a cash grab?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Because the fact that they kind of gave this like untested amateur developers like reign over it, the fact that Nintendo didn't know that they'd added a multiplayer until
Well, they
a
did
few
that.
months.
Not even Rare knew.
Yeah, until months before the release, it suggests that they weren't really invested in it. But then again, the amount of time that they took to create an engine, to go over the scenes and everything, meant that the people involved in making it were trying to make
a
amazing
good game.
an amazing game. So, no, I don't think it's a cash grab because it's so important for so much that came after it, and it was such an amazing game.
Scott?
See, no, I don't think it's a cash grab either. Mainly because as a standalone game, without the film ever existing, it would have done well. It's obviously
That's a good point.
That is a good point.
It's a really good point.
We've used that before as one of the reasons for a game. Oh, Hercules, I think it was.
Like, you know, like I like the other was a James Bond game as well, 007 Nightfire as well, and I think that's a great game, and it's kind of like playing back homage to it. And I think without this game, you wouldn't have had that game. And I love both of them.
Yeah.
Like you said, like the detail they've gone into, like replicating the film. Like sometimes they would just do lots of like cut scenes and cut it all out. And if anything, they've actually gone in a bit more detail, actually make it a bit more fun, like adding in the tank and stuff like that. And
Yeah, it's true.
and adding all these new features, doing the pre like mission, which actually starts before the game. I think they've actually taken some thought to this and produced actually a really good game.
Yeah. See, I think it started off as a bit of a cash grab.
Yeah.
So I think at first they thought, yeah, easy money, James Bond, everyone's going to see the film. Let's just, pump something out, give it to some unknowns, and just get it out there. And that's why it started off as the 2D side scroller.
Yeah.
And I think they realised that was going to be shit. So then they went for the on rails thing, and they realised that was going to be shit. So then they went, let's do something completely different, which, I don't know if Doom was out at the time, but let's do something 3D, like, I think they said it was like open environment. So 3D open environment. And then as soon as they said that, there was not much like it. So they said you had to build an engine. They went to the site and they took photos of all like the sets and all that kind of stuff. And then so I think it started off at the beginning as a cash grab, but then I think it very quickly turned into a whole new project.
Yeah.
Which I think I'd agree, because then they went on to produce a game which actually didn't have a movie title. So 007 Nightfire later didn't have a movie title.
Yeah.
And therefore they actually realised that shit. They actually know what they're doing.
I don't think it was them that made that though.
Yeah.
That was EA that made Nightfire.
It was heavily influenced by
I
GoldenEye,
think
though,
I
wasn't
think
it?
they realised then that James Bond actually can have
A standalone.
Yeah.
a top standalone game.
Yeah, and they're right. Well, I'm going to be a bit controversial and say actually I do think it's a cash grab.
Are you just doing it? Are you doing what I done?
Yeah.
No, I was literally going to say word for word how you described it, and I as I was thinking about it when you were asking like Adam whether it's a cash grab, I thought because of the cycles of development and about how it's gone and its changes, but actually no, I do think it's a cash grab, and I think it's that actually. I think as a small studio, even though they went through this production and started realising, it's kind of turning into this game which is going to be a success. Like, this is something different. This is something new, and then just this amateur people in this, relatively, kind of small studio, and I think when it kind of came to the point, this is 2 years after the film, so by this time, it's a James Bond film. It's going to be relatively successful at the best of times, But GoldenEye was huge. It was a massive hit. It's a hugely grossing James Bond hit. And I think after 2 years of development and gone through all the different stages of evolution and what they went through, and when they finally got to this point where they said, like, this is a really fucking cool game, tagged on this multiplayer last minute, and just flung it out there, I think, it's definitely a cash grab. I really do, because it's a highly grossing film, majorly successful, has a huge, kind of swath of fans, and they were onto something which was also being successful as a game.
But I think they knew they were onto something, right? But then the hype for the film had gone because it was 2.5 years after the film was in cinema. So like Adam said, but maybe before we recorded, that they took a while to come out to the VHS, but still like a year tops. So say the VHS was out for 1.5 years. Yeah, a lot of people would have seen it in that time.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
then I feel like the hype would have died down, and the next big thing
I mean,
would have come out.
there's no doubt. There's
So,
no
like,
doubt.
Just
like,
because
yeah.
they know they're on something good doesn't necessarily mean a cash grab. Like, I'm sure when Naughty Dog were making Uncharted 4, they knew they were on something good.
Oh no,
And they knew that they were going to be making, like, top tier. And same with The Last of Us. They knew they were going to be making top tier, but it wasn't... I wouldn't say they were cash grabs because of it.
No, I mean that is true. I just think with Goldeneye being the success it was, even though it's like, you know, gone 2 years past and it's, you know, it obviously it's not a hyped film anymore because it's had 2 years of life, you know, been in and out of cinemas and, you know, had a release and stuff like that. So, but at the same time, I think, you know, it's just there are lots of James Bond fans.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And at this point, it was still the most recent James Bond film. So it's the only.
Was it?
No, this is what I'm sorry to like contradict, but you know, in 1997, the Tomorrow Never Dies came out.
Ah, but what date? Because here's an interesting thing. What date was it?
Actually, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Was
Because
they
if
released
this
James
was-
Bond
if
game?
this was
promo,
released,
it just-
if
yeah.
this was released, so 1997, 25th of August. So this was released whilst they were hyping up. What was it? Tomorrow Never Dies.
Tomorrow Never Dies.
So this was released.
It
while they're
seems
hyping
like a
up that.
weird move, though, to have released
It is, but
a game
it-
for
December.
obviously.
December.
Yeah, but it's getting people
So this
back
was
into
just
James
so,
Bond.
yeah. So this is getting people back into James Bond before the release of a new
Before the
movie,
release of a
and
new
at the
film.
same time riding off the success of the previous James Bond film. So yeah, I think it's a cash grab.
That's a good point, actually.
There we go.
I see your point. But in the multiplayer thing,
Yeah,
I don't know. Because the game...
I know what you're thinking.
Because they just tucked it on there
yeah,
a couple of months before it came out.
Yeah.
And the game would not be what it is today without it.
that's true.
The game would have been completely forgotten about. Like, maybe not completely forgotten about, but it would have been called a good first-person shooter, and that probably would have been it. It wouldn't be on the top 10 game lists of all times now if it didn't have the multiplayer.
Yeah, you're right.
So, and I feel like they just chucked that on just for an extra feature, not, oh, this will sell. I think they were just like, we need a little bit more. And they
Well, I
just
mean,
chucked it on.
it was a creative choice. Like,
Yeah.
it was by no means a financial choice. They thought this is going to lead to financial success. It's obviously because they wanted to try something different and interesting. But at the same time, I still think it's a cash grab.
Well, either way, it's a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's.
That's the first one we've differed on.
Yeah.
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 There we go.
Has Tom's argument swayed either of you two?
No.
Oh.
I think I'm tending more towards halfway in the middle where, like you said, it might have started off initially like that and initially like a promo and maybe it was this whole idea of having, but then, you know, they found something wonderful there which then became a brilliant game.
Yeah.
So, you know, probably put a lot of money into that.
Both convincing arguments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a tough one. I still agree.
It's
it was
a
a cash grab at the
it's
beginning,
a grey area.
then turned into a non-cash grab.
Yeah. So, on that note, I've got one last bit of trivia before we sign off. And that is, if you go on the Wikipedia page,
Oh God!
within
Fuck's sake.
3...
Adam's
this
left the room.
This is 100% true. Within 3 clicks of being on the Goldeneye Wikipedia page, you can get to Adolf Hitler's Wikipedia page. Now that is a fucking lovely bit of trivia right there. Lovely slice of trivia for you. Yum yum.
I think
How's that?
the best bit was, you know, trying to get to Jesus but finding it
Well,
out.
yeah, 'cause-
yeah, this is the thing. Scott challenged me to find Jesus in like
Just
three-
in the room.
Not
just in
Wikipedia,
the room.
just
Where
in-
could it
just,
be?
just in general, and I took him literally. I was like, yeah, I'll get him up now. But yeah, he's like, can you get from Goldeneye to Jesus? And I was like, that's a challenge I can take on. And I ended up on Adult Hitler.
So you
Adult.
Adult.
That's
Not
my new
Kid
porn
Hitler.
film. That's my new porn film. It's not
Oh,
a James Bond one. It's
God.
Adult Hitler.
So, talking of Jesus, have any of you watched American Gods?
I haven't yet.
I want to watch it.
No, I've not watched it.
Apparently it's good.
Fucking good.
Yeah?
Recommend it. Yeah.
It's got the bloke that used to be on Hollyoaks.
Was it?
That's where
Was
he's
he?
from.
I finished it yesterday, and it's.
Really?
I've read the book, but
next
the
on my
TV
list.
show's really good.
Sorry, I kind of caught Adam mid-yawn. Really, really caught me off guard. Really caught me off guard.
Well, on the yawn, should we sign off?
Let's call it. So, yeah,
Scott, hope you enjoyed your
Once again,
episode of.
thank you very much for
Cash
having
Grabs.
me. It's
not
been-
at all. It's been
Great
a pleasure,
choice.
Scott.
We
That was
fully
brilliant
enjoyed
choice.
it.
Yeah, well done, man. Well done. Been awesome. So yeah, thank you for listening to Cash Grab. And please, if you're watching on YouTube, give it a listen on the SoundCloud, and vice versa. Follow and subscribe and all that jazz. Get in contact on Twitter.
I think it's Cash Grab Podcast on Twitter.
Yes, Cash Grab Podcast.
Twitter.
So be in touch, and we'll catch you later.
Yeah. Bye.
Adios.